Hello and welcome everyone to episode 2 of Lor-Quest, the Lorcana podcast. How are you doing, Harry?
I'm doing good, thanks, Eve. How are you doing?
I'm alright, it's just the two of us today.
It is. Tom is away on his travels to London Comic Con, I believe, for the weekend, which is very exciting.
He is. He's staying with his in-laws, my parents, this weekend.
Very nice. Bit of bonding time in between work.
Yeah, he's never
That'll be
never
fun.
seen them without me before, so
Right. First time for everything. That'll be good.
yeah,
Good
definitely.
stuff. You will be missed,
Right.
but it is a interesting episode today. We're going over some new rulings for store champs, which is good because they're gonna creep up, I think, very fast. Even though we've just had the other ones, I think I can't remember the exact dates, but you guys have been given your
Yes.
options, right, for dates. Obviously, I don't know what you can say and you can't, but
Yes. So before we get to that, I'll do some plugging.
Mhm.
So make sure you follow Lazy Dragon Gaming on all the social medias, YouTube and Spotify as well, for all the news. I guess all the upcoming everything that's coming up in the future to do with the store, and to make sure you don't miss out on where our new location might be.
Very exciting. I can't
Indeed.
wait.
No, I can't wait either. It's going to be good. It's going to be really
hmm
good.
hmm
So, tell me, Harry, before we make a start, Um, what was your favourite aspect of the store championships in for set 4?
Ooh. Okay. So realistically, I think there's a few things, but the most enjoyable part, I think, was the traveling in a group. Um, Obviously, in our kind of community, we have a group of competitive players. So we're quite close, especially everything Lorcana. We probably talk in that chat daily, actually. To be fair, not just about Lorcana, which is nice. But yeah, the whole traveling down with people, having a laugh, just spending time with friends is good. And then you obviously everyone's playing. We're playing competitively, but we're also playing because we enjoy the game. Um, so it's just a nice in between rounds, a stress free situation. Nice weekend, really, and we travelled for four, so it was four tournaments or 2 weekends worth of just seeing friends, having a laugh. Obviously, unfortunately, I don't actually know out of the whole group who got paired against who the most, but I certainly played a few of us a few times, which is always upsetting. You don't want to play your friends in big tournaments because at the end of the day, someone has to lose. Um, but yeah, I mean, it was good. I had a lot of fun with that, and then obviously competing is just really fun.
Yeah, of course, you want everyone in your team, so to speak, to do well.
Oh yeah, 100%. And in some of the events where the numbers are a lot lower, um, I mean, I think one of them, it was a bar like one or two people. It was everyone we knew. So unfortunately, some win, some lose. But everyone was like pleased for each other. That's the main thing. And when other people were going higher in rounds than others, we were all cheering each other on and things like that. So that was really good, really good.
Definitely. So, you went to 4 store championships in the end,
Four, yeah,
and obviously they were held over a, a 2 week period, essentially,
yep.
or a week or 2 weeks. I can't remember the exact time period. All I remember
Yeah,
is
two
it
two
went
week
from a
period, two
Saturday to a
weekends. Yeah,
Sunday,
yes, yeah.
and you could run them at any point during those weeks, including midweek, which I know you mentioned last week didn't work out particularly well for you.
No,
Well,
I could only do weekends myself.
yeah,
I think
because you
everyone
work.
did, right? Yeah, yeah. My unless there was some really local, I couldn't get the week ones. But I know some people probably hit up about 5 or 6. Not personally, but online, you just see all these people that in America, especially, there's so many game stores in an area they can go to all of them in the evenings. So, but they're a long process anyway. The tournaments, even at the lowest numbers, You're still playing with your 8 players or 10 or whatever, and then you've got your tops and then your finals. So you're still looking at like 3 to 4 hours, maybe more, just for that. So
Yeah. So I'll jump straight in and tell you what's new with the Store Championships. I imagine we can tell this now because they're already getting sanctioned, and I know Fanboys 3's is already up.
yes, I believe so. Yeah.
So
But
this
yeah, some
this
new
must be
rules.
public knowledge by now. So the big change is that the Store Championships now must fall on a Saturday or a Sunday.
Okay.
You're not allowed
Good.
to run them midweek.
Interesting, but good. I mean, I work Monday to Friday, so um, yeah, I can see why that's a good thing. I'll go into that afterwards. You want to tell me all the new stuff, and then I'll have my
Yeah.
say in them.
And everyone's Store Championships must be available on Melee by June 21st.
That's really good. There are some
So
issues I will mention after. This is very good.
those are the two main things, and really great news for anyone that ran a Set 4 Store Championship is that everyone that's already run a Set 4 Store Championship is already eligible to run a Set 5 one, and they don't need to apply for another
Oh,
one.
that's good. Yeah, because I guess by that point you'll have two set championships under your belt. So if you got enough of a crowd for the one, the second one, and then yeah, that's a lot easier for stores. I don't know how difficult it was for you guys to apply or anything. I don't know if it goes off like how long you've been a store or anything like that, or what they take into consideration. But no, that's good. Really good.
I'm not sure, but I've been in the industry long enough that I have some really good friends
Yeah,
that I can message.
yeah, that's really handy. Yeah, really good.
That makes it sound really dodgy, like we're doing something dodgy. It's
Yeah,
not.
you shouldn't be allowed this. No, I can vouch for you guys. So you got, I mean, Tom's been running stores for years and things like that. So,
Yeah, I
um,
mean, between us, we're getting close to 40 years of experience in the industry now.
damn, that's a
Yeah.
lot, but good. Obviously, you need that experience to make sure you can get into all these things. So, but yeah, it's good. Obviously, having some non-shady contacts helps.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah, it's really good. I feel. Is there any more rules before I go into
Nope,
my
that's
say
it.
on? Okay.
Those are
So,
the regulations.
so the first one, the Saturday and Sunday ones. For someone or for most people that work a normal Monday to Friday, I guess that's good. I feel like it's more if certain stores choose to run it weekdays, they're not going to get a bigger turnout, I think. And obviously because those tournaments will be a lot later, you're not going to run these tournaments like on a Saturday or a Sunday. The tournaments usually start at 11 or 12, 1 o'clock. If you're running them in a weekday, they're not starting till like 6 or 7, surely.
No, you don't have time for a 6 round event on
No,
a Wednesday.
no. I believe I saw one. There was a store championship in America, and I think it went on to about 2 a.m. I'm not sure what time they started. It probably was a midweek one. They started late, but I mean, I like the game. I'm not playing that late. I've got work the next day. I'm not losing out on sleep. So, um, yeah, but that's a good one. But I think the better one is the fact that every store has to have their tournament registered on Melee. Um, because I think
By the
the main
21st of
reason,
June.
yeah, the main reason is the issues a couple of us had when looking for tournaments. Some stores would advertise it on their Facebook or Twitter or something, but then there wouldn't be something up on Melee, so you couldn't actually officially sign up. And then there's no way unless you're near the store, which a lot of the ones we found we weren't near, so you couldn't just like rock up. And if they say, "Oh no, we're not doing it," you still have to get like a couple. You're still driving or getting the train back to wherever you are. Um, but I feel like some stores, I'm not naming names because I don't actually know who, but they would advertise an event. It's not official on Melee. The players look at it, think, "Oh yeah, I can do this. I can sign up." Can't find it on Melee. Either give up or they get to the day, there's still no melee sign-ups, they can't sign up, they can't risk traveling for that option, the store just makes away with the prizes. Because the prizes are, like we went into last episode, the prizes are very expensive, so it
Yes,
would
and I'm going to go
potentially be
into
the
the new
worst thing
promo
to
as
do.
well in a minute. But
Mm.
yes, I know we had some weird stuff going on with our melee though. Before, excuse me, before the store championship, because I know
Mhm.
Abby messaged me a few times and was like, "Your event has disappeared," and then I went on
Yes,
and
I had. There was one issue. I think it was on a different day to what it said it was, but then you guys changed it pretty quickly.
yeah, I'm pretty sure I was working. I was on my laptop as I got the message, so I was like,
Mm.
"I'll just change it now."
Yeah.
But that was really bizarre. And then obviously because my it was April and my brain hadn't settled into new routines yet, I thought that it was on the 29th when it was supposed to be on the 27th.
Yeah.
But
I guess another thing with the dates is I'd say it's probably better for stores. Um, if you're only committed to 4 weeks, oh, sorry, 4 days over a 2 week span, your locals have a less likelihood of being invaded by 4 or 5 really good like if you have like a really casual locals. I know it was quite a big issue in set one, not to any I went to, where you'd run the risk of a lot of people, competitive people, coming and ruining the scene for the local players. Personally, I think, well, it's a competitive tournament, anyone's allowed, but I get where some game stores might be put off advertising a tournament unless it's just filled with local players.
yeah,
Mm.
I think from a game store perspective as well, it's almost easier to have a month that you can run the event in.
Yeah.
And yes, okay, it has to be on either a Saturday or a Sunday. But knowing that everyone's events have to be up by the 21st, I can hold off, or I can either schedule mine right away, right now, and everyone else knows that my event is going to be then, and therefore can plan around it, or I can wait until the last minute and look at where everyone else's events are, hear what my community is planning on travelling to,
Hmm.
and I can schedule it around that.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think that's a positive and a negative. You're gonna want to hope, especially if you're planning. Let's say if you plan yours early, or earlier than other stores in like a surrounding area, you've got to hope that, um, and you would do the same. You'd respect the store that's having theirs first, and maybe have yours the next day or the weekend after. Vice versa, you would do for them as they would for you, just so you can kind of share your player base rather than having them both on the same day. Um, Sometimes it might not just be available if you guys are running an event on another day. I don't know the ins and outs of the other TCGs or with the dates you're given, if there's going to be like a big Pokemon event, or there's a lot of factors, I guess, for it, but you just got to hope that other shops will respect you, and the same for you. It's also a good idea to hold off, see what's free, and then see where the your local player base is traveling, and make sure you can get the numbers yourself. So
The other idea that we've kind of been brainstorming a little bit, which I don't like very much, is well, Fanboy 3 have announced theirs. We could put on ours on at the same time as Fanboy 3. That would ensure that we get a small local, and then we
that
could
is
hoard,
true.
hoard
Yeah.
all the promos for ourselves. I
Yeah.
don't like that idea. I'd rather have a big event than make sure my locals get the really expensive promo. I mean, obviously, I want you all to have the really expensive promos,
Oh, 100%.
but I'd
Um,
rather hold a bigger event and
yeah.
get you guys to win it fair and square
I would
than
rather be part of a bigger event, I think, as well. I think to win at a bigger event of the four, if you go to four that you're choosing to go to, I think just within yourself feels more.
well, you
Uh,
can go to 8.
can we?
Yes.
Wait, how many weekends do we get given?
All of
What's the
July.
date? Oh, we get the whole.
The whole of July. They must be run on a Saturday or a Sunday throughout July.
Oh, I thought it was just the old thing of, we only got given 2 weeks with the
Yeah,
last one.
no. No, they've given us the whole month
Oh,
of July.
okay, okay. Well, that's new. Okay, that's really good. Okay, so you can go to 8. Cool.
Yeah.
That's a really long month. As much as I like to say, sure, every weekend in July I'm gonna go. Um,
It's not
oh, I don't think.
feasible.
No, and I don't think it's possible just because there is a Lorcana Challenge event on in July. Um,
Yes.
so we'd have to miss one, which is also good for local communities because all the really sweaty players will go away and do that because you're going to want to do that more. As long as you can, if you can travel there. I guess my backup is if it's not, I'm doing more store championships. But um, okay,
Yeah.
that's interesting. Yeah, something to think about. If I could do a store championship, secure the promo and a playmat before that, and then go, that'd be cool. But
Yeah.
we'll we'll see.
Also, don't forget it'll be all over the country at the same time. So,
Hmm.
one week you might go to Fanboy 3 and I might schedule mine the day after Fanboy 3. So you've got
Hmm.
like a full weekend that weekend. One weekend maybe there's 3 down south that you don't want to travel to. So,
Yeah.
you don't have to travel as far, I think.
Hmm.
But yeah, do
They're
you want to know
long
what the
days as well, so
Yeah,
it's
they are
just
long days.
yeah, I have this thing. So I'll play Lorcana. If I have like a competitive tournament, I'll play for like a whole day. My brain will be mush. I'll go to bed thinking, I need a day off from playing a card game because I'm closing my eyes and I'm watching myself ink cards and shuffle my deck. And then I just have like a good sleep. I wake up and I'm like, I'm ready to go again. It's weird, but I'm glad I have that. I'd rather not be like feel burnt out after a day.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
so yeah, that's
Definitely.
good.
So, do you want to know what the promo card? That's what I keep glancing down at. Is I've got lights on my screen flashing up at me.
Yes,
Um,
I think I know what it is, but I'm not 100% sure. So I'm assuming is it the same thing as last time where it's the playmat as well as the promo?
yes.
It's the
So you
same
get a
card?
playmat,
Okay. Yeah.
um, and the top 4 get one copy of the alternate art Ursula Sea Witch Queen promo.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, Ursula. Yeah. Yeah, that was what I
Um,
thought it was, but I wasn't sure.
but I'll quickly run through what the card says and what the card does.
Hmm.
So it's a 7 cost. It's in purple as well. She's got 4 attack, 7 defense. She has Floodborn, Villain, Queen, and Sorcerer as her keywords.
That's a lot.
Yep. She's got a Shift 5. Now I am the ruler. Whenever this character quests, exert chosen character. And you'll listen to me. Other characters can't exert to sing songs.
Mm.
And she quests for 3.
She's big.
She's big.
Very good. I remember when they announced her right at the start of the set 4 kind of release thing they were doing. I thought this card was insane. I think a lot of people have that when they reveal new cards, like the first bunch from this. Oh, this is too good. This is oh my god. And then obviously we're right now. For anyone that's listening into the future, we are 1 week into set 4, so there's not an established meta yet. There never is at the start of these sets. Some cards and decks seem stronger than they will be in like a week or 2 weeks once the meta kind of mellows itself out and everyone gets to grips with kind of what's good. And then for the rest of it, it's just slight changes here and there. But yeah, she's a really good card.
I feel like she
Fits.
feels very, very strong though,
Mm,
almost regardless of what the meta is going to turn out to be.
yeah. So obviously we'll go into it another week when we talk really into about the meta. But um, I haven't seen much use of her yet. But I've only really scratched the surface with about 3 decks right now, just through doing a bit of testing. Obviously, last night at locals. Um, I am a purple player myself, but I also play red blue, so I've been on the red blue sort of stuff. But I don't know if she's viable in my red purple list, but um, she's a
Well, she
big
doesn't get
body.
hit by Sisu, does she?
No, she doesn't get hit by Sisu or Madame Medusa, which is the big one. Like the first card, everyone, as soon as they release a card, it's like Medusa can't kill it, or Medusa can. More than often, Medusa can. Um, but there are some cards you can get to lower the attack of Ursula, but you need multiple cards to get rid of her, unless you just use like a spot removal card. But she's good. I like the fact she stops singers as well. I said this last week, I think. I like it when they make cards that their abilities kind of mirror what they do in the films.
Yeah.
Ursula wanting to steal Ariel's voice, stop her from singing in the game. She stops singers. It's cool. I like how they do that.
Yeah. It feels more immersive, I guess.
Definitely. I think it just helps. It like even if you don't have that sort of knowledge, you haven't seen some of the films. There are a lot of characters I play with in my decks, films I haven't seen. But I know at one point I'll probably watch those films because I'm interested in those characters, and then something will happen or they'll say something, I guess, because a lot of the times the little ability that the cards have is something they say in the films. And then I'd be like, oh yeah, that's the card or something. So, but yeah, since playing the game, I have racked up a list of films I need to watch because I've played decks with cards in. I've never seen this character before, but he's a good card. I think Hiram Flavisham is the main one. I've never seen Hiram. I think is it Basil the Great Detective? Do you know?
The Great Mouse Detective, yeah.
Great
I
Mouse
believe
Detective,
so.
yeah.
That's one that I've never seen either, so.
Yeah, and I've heard it's really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, just never got around to it, and now I know most of the characters from the film without seeing the film.
Yeah, I feel that way about Raya and the Last Dragon.
Yep, that's another one I haven't seen. But cool cards. Is that where Sisu's from?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Because that's
another
card that I'm getting
Raya.
more common with. But I've never known where Sisu was from. So, all right, okay. Yeah.
Given that I don't recognise Sisu, I'm going to assume that it is from something I've not watched.
Yeah, I'm confident to say it's probably that. She is a dragon. But I didn't actually know that the Raya film was a film until I played Lorcana, which is strange. Usually you just see Disney advertisements everywhere, but now I had no idea.
I think it was a straight to Disney Plus release, potentially.
Okay, yeah.
Because I remember seeing it on Disney Plus, but I don't remember seeing it anywhere else.
That makes sense. Okay. Yeah, it's probably why it's gone under the radar for me.
Entirely possible.
But that's interesting. So I will be on the hunt for a Ursula promo and hopefully a Matt this time. I just came away with the Stitch promo last time, which is still good. I said to myself at the start of the weekends, if I can just secure a promo, I'll be happy. And the 3 out of 4. When I got to the third tournament, I got one, so I was pleased. The fourth one was probably the biggest room to play in, and I just didn't have any. There was no stress to really try. Obviously, you really try anyway, but there was not as much pressure. But this time, I will try my best for a Matt.
You'll get it. You'll get
it. I have hope. I have 8 tries this time.
Yeah, exactly. I have every faith in you.
Yeah.
It's like every week, right? Who's going away this weekend? Where are we going?
Yeah, that's another thing. We said this time, like, just to save us potentially bumping into each other in tournaments. And, you know if it at one point, I don't know if it did happen throughout our 2 weeks, but it will get to a point where 2 of us will be playing for the chance to at least win a promo, and knowing that you're the reason your friend has missed out on one, it sucks. You know,
it's a bit of a feel bad
to be on the receiving end of someone that you would miss out on the promo. I'd be happy for whoever it was I was playing that I knew to get it, but at the same time, it's like if only you could both get it. In an ideal world, we would have all walked away from our competitive group with mats and promo cards. But there's only so many spots, obviously, and you're surrounded by loads of other players, so...
Absolutely. And, that's the problem with competitive play. Not everyone gets it.
But it's the friendships, and as long as everyone has a good time, it's
Exactly.
you can get a bit annoyed or upset at the end of a day, but at least you've had a good day out with your mates, and it's not all kind of doom and gloom, shall we say? You've gone to an event, you've had some fun,
And I
and
feel like
some
we've
days
got,
you play as well as you can, and it's just luck.
yeah, and I feel like we've got quite a good support system as well, um, for when someone does have a really feel bad day,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and that
Um,
we all vent to each other and we all talk to
mm,
each other and kind of, yeah, you know what, that's really, really sucky.
hmm.
And we'll band together and be like, help them look forward to the next event.
Yeah. A lot of the time, I say to some people, and I've said to myself, there's only so much you can do. Sometimes it just comes down to like I could have like you can play it out perfectly and just not win just due to hands. Where there's not sometimes you can't play better than what you've got, and it's just unfortunate. And but it will work the other way around. Even though you don't talk to your opponents as much, they you probably played someone that's been in that situation. They can't do any better than what the hand they've been given. There's not much you can do about it. Just keep your chin up and carry on until the next one. So, but I'd also point out that as well as kind of our competitive group helping each other when we're low, when one of us is doing very well, or a few of us if we're topping events, or even in the Lorcana Store Championship weekends. I think when we're doing well as well, we're very supportive. A lot of coffees have been bought, keep people's brains up and running mid game and things like that. Because you are, I've had it myself where you're on a bit of a roll and you're just focused. You don't have time to go up and get yourself a drink and or something to eat. And obviously, if your friends have time, everyone helps each other out, which is nice.
Absolutely. It's all about that community spirit, isn't it? And banding
Mm-hmm.
together and
100%.
having that camaraderie between you,
Mm-hmm.
really.
It's also nice, I think, with our local community, even with people that. So there's a competitive group, and then there's some that aren't as competitive. They still like to keep up to date with how we're doing when we go away to events and stuff. We'll post usually we take like a selfie with the team or something, or we'll just post our scores throughout the day, and people are really like happy to see that, and we're all like communicating throughout the day, cheering each other on. So it's really good, really good.
Absolutely. I've always found that with like the wider store as well, people tend to know when there are events going on.
Yeah.
So people who are nothing to do with that card game but do come to the store regularly still want to see the players from the store doing really well
Mhm.
or want to commiserate with them. So
Yeah.
it's that wider community as well of people that don't necessarily understand the game and aren't into the game that also want to be cheering you on, which is fantastic to have.
Yeah. I've a few friends play other card games in store, and it's nice to see them. Obviously, stores will put up rankings and stuff after tournaments, and when you see people from your local game store, it's always nice to just cheer them on and whatnot. It's good to see. I think at the end of the day, everyone's got this same. For the most part, it's always to do with like a TCG competitive card game, um, and everyone's in the same boat at the end of the day. You're all kind of competing for prizes and whatnot. And you just want everyone to do well in your local area. So,
Yeah, definitely.
mm. But yeah, so with that, I think 8 weeks, 8 tournaments
Yes,
can be achieved. I don't see myself doing it. I'd like to go to the Lorcana Challenge. I think it's Bochum in July.
it is, yeah.
Yeah. And obviously, at the time of this recording, we've got Lille at the weekend and Atlanta.
Yep.
They're only using set three. Well, actually, the next few are using set three. It's going to be weird, I think, playing set four up to set four and then having to go back and do a set three deck.
Oh, that's bizarre.
Yeah, so it's only because. Well, actually, Bochum, we might be okay. So I think it's just Lille and Atlanta, just because the set's not even been out a week, or it will have only
Yeah.
been. Obviously, it's not official release at the time, so they can't actually legally use the cards in tournaments.
Yeah, because it's only the game stores, the bricks and mortar game stores that have had their releases now. Everyone else has to wait until May 31st, I believe.
Yes, so once that date has passed, everywhere is legal to play those tournaments. So when all those cards, so when we get to Bochum, I was wrong. We do get to play with set four. I think what I was getting confused with is we were looking at the time schedule for set five to be released, and that comes out. It might be 2 or 3 weeks before the Birmingham tournament, so it
Right.
should be legal for then as well,
So we're
which is
looking
good.
at set 5 around August, would you say?
I think so. The end of August or early September. I think it's early enough in September to be able to um, be legal for Birmingham. Fingers crossed. Anyway, I'm not 100% sure if I can make Birmingham, but um, all hands on deck because you'll have to get a deck ready in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And even though that sounds like a long time, I
It's
guess
not.
no, not when you like. Everyone has their own kind of life with work and stuff, and there's only so much planning and testing you can do, and everything else you've got to do. So it's
And
exciting
then if
though. I
you're
enjoy
waiting on
it.
cards to arrive by post as well, you've got
Oh,
to factor in Royal Mail.
yeah, yeah, um, yeah. I can't imagine doing that, and then the cards getting lost, and then you can't because there's only so many cards you can lend out to your friend groups.
Yeah.
Because obviously it gets to the point where a lot of people are playing the same decks. I think we were kind of all right when we there were a lot of cards lent out for Store Champs between us, but a lot of us weren't running the same deck, which is good.
Yes.
Um, that's another thing. I think there's been a lot of variety in this past meta game. I'd say near the end of it, there was a lot of choices, so which was interesting. And I think as a group we all played a variety. I think at any one time, two out of 7 of us were playing the same color combinations, which is cool.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so yeah, fingers crossed for future me ordering things in the post and hoping they arrive in time because I know I will. You don't want to get thank you. You don't want to kind of risk as well if you need certain cards and the only thing you can do is buy packs, but you just don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
So you just got to get lucky.
No, definitely. And it
Mm.
it sucks because at some point you don't want to open any more packs because you know that the cards that you need are the ones that you're not going to see in those packs.
It's always a legendary.
Yeah,
Always a legendary. Or to some
absolutely.
point, sometimes it's just uncommons. You just don't
Yeah.
see for ages. I can open up. I think I did it in set three. There was. I don't know how many uncommons they have per set. It might be the same amount every time, but you can make it through like a box, which is 24 packs, I believe. Is it 24 or 36?
24.
24. Um, you don't see some of you don't get like you're not guaranteed at least one card from one copy of every card from the set. Minus legendaries, even like you just miss out on some uncommons. You're like, oh okay, I didn't see that in 24 packs. When am I going to see it? And I need 4 of
Yeah.
them. So
Yeah, exactly.
mm.
Shall we have a bit of a chat about double feature?
Yes, yes, please go ahead, go ahead.
So, I really like double feature because I think it's, despite you're still gonna have like your Scar, your Little Mermaid, and the Lion King deck, I think it'll open up the field a bit more for, especially given that it's being marketed as a more casual format as well,
Yeah.
for people like me who want to play with, I don't know, Winnie the Pooh and Peter Pan.
Mm. So it's just double feature is just it's 2 films of your choice, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter about color combination. It's just
Nope.
you can pick as long as it's from this film or this, well, not franchise, but obviously Winnie the Pooh, Peter Pan, things like that. Yeah, yeah. When I
Well,
saw it, I was
they are
quite
films
interested.
in and of themselves, but they
Yes,
are
yeah,
also franchises.
yeah, yeah, um, yeah. It's definitely interesting. If they don't schedule them the same time as other competitive tournaments, I'll definitely be giving it a go.
So
But,
I think the idea with them is that when you go to somewhere like Bochum for a challenge,
mhm.
you'll be, if you are doing really badly in the tournament, in the main event, you'll be able to drop and join a side event, which is double feature.
Okay, that's good. So they kind of did that in Manchester at their last Store Championships. They had a side event in case you did bad.
Yes.
And unfortunately, in Manchester, I did bad, and then I entered the side event, and then I did even worse. But
Oh dear.
unfortunately, that's the matchups for you. But yeah, double feature is definitely interesting. It's something I didn't have on my mind that Disney would do it, but it makes so much sense when it announced that. Yeah, of course they were going to do something like that because that's the main thing, especially when you're playing casual. You just make theme decks, and the theme decks are always films. Um, Obviously, there's this big the community seem to be really backing a broom deck, so I'm sure there'll be it'll be like Fantasia themed, won't it? That's Fantasia is the where are
Yeah.
they? They're all
Well,
the brooms are from there, right? Yensid
so the
and
brooms are either from Fantasia or they're from Beauty and the Beast.
oh yeah, that is true. Um, yeah, I'm just trying to think what else. So obviously, Snow White's a big one. Seven Dwarves, something I really wanted to try when they first came out. Unfortunately, they aren't that good in a format where people use really good decks, but I can see them causing a bit of havoc in these double feature events.
One thing I would like them to clarify, though, that I have just thought of that could potentially become an issue, is Mickey Mouse. If you
Ah,
choose Mickey Mouse, do you have to choose do you have to choose Mickey Mouse Musketeer to be the feature, or is it Mickey Mouse
oh,
Fantasia?
but then there's like Detective Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
Where's he from? I'm sure there'll be some rulings, because then you could really kind of really mix things up, and then that also gets to a point where it becomes doesn't really become a double feature. I think
Yeah.
there'll be some sort of ruling, like yeah, you can only use. So maybe some cards won't be playable, which I guess is fine because there'll be enough cards, especially as the sets go on. There'll be so many cards.
Oh, absolutely.
Right now, there's so many cards for the Little Mermaid, for example, and we're only 4 sets in. I know Ursula's a big theme for the first 4 sets, with the story they're doing. But it'll be the same with every film. There'll just be
Yeah.
more and more and more. So what did you say your two favorite Winnie the Pooh, Peter Pan? Would they be your choices?
I was just trying to think of movies that are actually
Okay.
in the rotation at the minute.
Mm.
But I think my favorite, so my favorite Disney movies are The Little Mermaid and Tangled. So
Mm.
I would probably go with those two. I don't know if they work together at all or.
There are in some of the meta decks. There are some decks that have Little Mermaid and Tangled cards in. Just off the top of my head, I think of the Steel Amber deck, Steel Song, that has Rapunzel's, Ariel's, things like that. So, um, I think for me, I'm trying to think of like my favorite Disney films, and the tricky thing is not to say anything that's Pixar because they're not in Lorcana yet.
Yes.
But going back from when I was a kid, I really actually enjoyed Alice in Wonderland, which we have a few cards in. Peter
Yeah.
Pan was probably my favorite as well. There's a lot of Peter Pan cards, so yeah, I'd just go off what I thought. Not what's good, but just I enjoyed these two films. Let's put them together and see what we can make.
Definitely. I'm definitely looking forward to reading an FAQ on Double Feature at some point
Yeah,
to see
definitely.
how it's all going to work in detail because there are some really interesting interactions in Lorcana that we'll probably get into at some other point.
Mm.
Because I mean, I find it fascinating. I might be the only one though. But yeah, no, I have so many Disney movies that I loved as a kid. Peter Pan being one of them. Um, Obviously, I said Little Mermaid and Tangled. Uh, I think I'd be hard pressed to find anyone in our family that doesn't like Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, I've never met a Winnie the Pooh hater. To be fair.
I'm currently playing essentially Tinkerbell in a D&D campaign as well, so
Okay, that's cool. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think. I mean, in Lorcana as well. There's a couple of Tinkerbell cards that are actually really good. So that's
Yeah,
definitely
the
Peter Pan's a good choice.
The
Captain Hook.
giant fairy is immense. I don't know if she still
Mm.
is though, but
Yes, she's still a very, very good card. And I'm pretty sure with all the new product from set 4, obviously they always release playmats with characters on. She's one of the playmats for this set, which is very nice. Obviously, the more sought after one, I think the other one is a Rapunzel from Tangled, one of her artworks. But the Tinkerbell Giant Fairy is one of the best artworks they did, I think, in set 1.
yeah,
Still really good and just a good card. One of my favourites for sure.
definitely. And I've just noticed I have this next to me, just to point out how much we love
Oh yeah,
Peter Pan in our house.
yeah, it's really cool. That yeah, Tinkerbell.
Yeah, a goth
Taste.
Tinkerbell. Disney exclusive, Disneyland exclusive for like Halloween one year.
Oh right, that's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
I need to take a trip back to Disney at some point. It's been years, but I think if I went, I'd definitely pick up some Lorcana, and then I don't know if obviously they have a lot of stock, but if I got something, yeah, I think because you can get like the characters to sign stuff, right? The people dressed
you
in the
can. Yeah,
costumes. Yeah, see what I get in the packs, and then if I get like a Mickey Mouse or something, just get him to sign the card. I think that'd be really cool.
yeah. I think
Mm.
that'd be awesome. That's something that I
Yeah.
would totally do. We should have a team outing to
A
Disneyland
team, yeah,
Paris.
Disney. Yeah, if we all just win multiple Ursula cards, they're going to be worth a lot. We'll sell one each and still keep one for each other. That pays for flights in at least 2 nights.
Yeah,
That's the plan. We've got 8 weeks. I'll put this in our group after this. Right, guys,
yeah.
this is the plan.
Brilliant. Right, this
If
is
you
what we're
get
doing.
if you want to, we're doing Disney after this as a celebratory like little celebratory run. Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, brilliant. I'm down for that.
Yeah, yeah, that would be really cool. And they'd probably do some events there anyway. I'm sure there'll be some. A lot of people are saying that they want them to release like Lorcana Disney Park exclusive cards. I don't know how that would go down. I think you'd run the risk of things being too expensive at that
I
point.
think you'd have to do it in the way that it's an alternate art for that
Yes.
park.
I think
Other than an
that's the best
existing
way to
card.
do
I don't
it. Yeah.
think you could ever feasibly do it so that it's a brand new card for that park
Oh
unless
no,
it's
definitely not. No, unless it
no.
was a terrible card. But
Yeah,
even
unless
then,
it was a terrible
it's
card.
not. Yeah. Um, I think when it comes to like the limit of expensive cards, it'd be whatever the promos for store championships or the world championship cards go for. Apart from that, nothing should be worth any more because it's those championships are quite accessible. You don't want. I guess you have the cards that they release at Comic Cons and stuff or events, but once again, they're the same cards. They just got a little signature thing at the bottom. So
Yeah.
little promos.
And
Sorry, that's
and
the
they
word.
have they have slightly different artworks as well.
Yeah, yeah. Would be cool to get my hand on some of them, but I know I won't. I won't. I don't. I don't have enough to give up to trade for them. I don't personally for me. I know we have some collectors and some aren't. I will collect some, but there's a limit on how much I'd pay or trade. I guess for cards like that, if they have the only use is they're going to sit in a binder and look nice.
Yeah, I think it depends as well on what the event is because
Mm.
obviously Tom and I have got our contacts and we could quite happily rock up to an event and pick up a couple.
Yeah, yeah. I think I went to one event to get a Gaston promo in Liverpool at the start of set 2. That's the only event I've been to where that Gaston was a prize, I believe, or at least a prize for me. That obviously a lot of people have them, but I've never been to another event myself where that's been an option
Yeah.
for a prize. But that was nice to get,
I
and I'll probably keep that just as a little token.
I also believe they do semi-regular events at the Disney Store in London. At
Okay,
the big one on Oxford Street, I believe.
mm,
Where they
that's
invite
interesting.
artists to sign. To artists are available to sign cards.
Okay, I don't know why I never thought that was a thing.
I
Next
believe
time I
they
go to
do
London,
it
I will
for
look up
like.
if it's near when I'm going, and I'll definitely go down and get some artists to sign some cards. That'd be really cool.
I believe they do it specifically for like release day
Okay, that's cool.
because they get like
But
massive like round block queues.
do Disney stores get the stock the same time that actual like yourself Tom and your store would get it, or did they get it on the next release? You know, like the official release day. Do you know?
They get it on the same day that we would get it, I believe.
Okay, right. So it's just like other stores that get it. That makes sense. It's
Yeah.
just so I know for next time if I'm going to London.
But I believe Disney is the only one
Yeah.
who is not a bricks and mortar gaming store that gets it at the same time.
Yeah, by default, Disney. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. Oh, that's a shame. The last time I went to London was during the release weekend of Set 3. If I knew that was a thing, I would have nipped to the Disney store and got a card signed.
Yeah, definitely.
I know for next time though, so that's good.
Was there anything else you want to talk about today?
I think we've hit all the topics we were going to talk about originally. Obviously, we'll have Tom back for next week, I'm assuming.
Yep. Yep.
Which is good. So we will, I think, talk more about. We'll have well, we would have had these Lorcana. I keep forgetting what they're called. Challenges, Lorcana challenges. They'll be done, Atlanta and Lille. So we can talk a little bit about them. Obviously, there's only Set 3, so we won't go into too much, but just talk about it. And the meta would have changed a bit into Set 4, and we can openly talk. I'm sure me and Tom would have tested a bit by then as well, which would be interesting. And then, of course, if we get any more news, especially with these, I've forgotten what they're called already. These events we've just been talking about, the double,
the challenges.
No, the with the two films.
The double feature.
Double feature. Any new double feature news we'll definitely talk about on here as well. I'd like to get Tom's take on the double features as well, and
that'd
what
be
he
great.
thinks, because that'd be good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Definitely.
Anything else from you?
No, I think I've covered everything that I wanted to talk about. I think the most important thing for me this week that I wanted people to know was that we can go to 8 store championships potentially.
Woohoo!
Yeah, more events.
More headaches, yay!
Yay!
But more importantly, more traveling.
More
as
traveling.
tedious as that might be for some people, it's a fun journey.
Oh, I love it.
Depending on where you go, anyway.
Yes, I love it. I love spending. My favorite thing about traveling with everyone is getting to know everyone.
Yeah, I think apart from, I knew Tom a little bit only from playing past games, but obviously there's Dan in our group. I've known him for years, but apart from that, everyone else was relatively new to me. So it's just good to get to know people.
Well, until you started playing Lorcana, I knew your name, but I'd never put a face to it.
Yeah, that is very true. Same to you. And now we're sat here doing a podcast.
I know.
So, yeah.
How bizarre.
Yeah, very. Yes, but I said it to Abby last night. We were having a little chat just about how we've just kind of all come together as this friendship group that are all into Lorcana, and obviously we share other interests as well, which is really cool. One of the better things to come from Lorcana, as well as playing a competitive Go game, is just making a really nice group of friends. So,
absolutely. Like we said, it comes back to the community in the end.
Definitely.
But I think on that note, it's time for me to do the final plugs.
Yes,
so,
go ahead.
For all your Lorcana needs, check out www.lazydragongaming.com. Make sure you're following us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff, so you never miss an update. And if you are into 40k, every Monday we have a podcast going up all about Warhammer. So not only 40k, but Age of Sigmar and Old World as well. But until next week, I think we'll say goodbye, Harry.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Bye, guys. Thank you for watching.